Greetings, Chandu. Yo, peace to Canada. Very good, Chandu. Why are you saying RIP Canada? That's not true, Chandu. Well, that's not a great way how to start a live stream. Canada is very cool. Chandu, today, like all the days, my mind is in peaceful mode. Don't worry, Dimak. He was joking. But it's a good thing in life if you have synchronicity between what you think, what you talk, and what you do. That is really possible. The day was very active and very productive. Some days you can feel like nothing's happening and you are stuck in something, and suddenly there comes a day when everything, all the dots connect and everything just starts to happen and sort out. Dimak, how are you stuck in Canada? Why do you feel stuck in Canada? Where do you want to be? So, you are from Canada, I am from Latvia, basically Europe, and Chandu is from India. 3 totally different countries. I mean, continents. Chandu, you think he's not from Canada? Chandu, I think I will travel to India after, somewhere after, well, soonest is after half a year, 5 to 6 months. Today the clouds outside are very beautiful. There is one cloud looking like Everest mountain. So yes, Chandu, then you can meet me face to face, and we can hold each other's hand. You went to India for your Buddhism certificate. And how long did it take for you? And how are you using your Buddhism certificate now? Well, yes, I guess in India you can get lots of certificates quite easily. Yes, Demek. Latvia has population about 1.8 million. Chandu, you never meet anyone. How is that possible? Especially if you're from India. I feel like in India people are everywhere. How do you not meet anyone? Took you 3 weeks to understand. It took you 3 weeks to understand Buddhism. That's fast. Chandu, you haven't met YouTubers. I also haven't met YouTubers. So Casual Mike, what's next for you after Buddhism certificate? Akash, you represent Brazil in this stream. So now we have person from Brazil, Canada, India and Latvia. William, you say that's scientifically not possible to survive Indian food. Well, I will not eat street food in India. I cannot comment what you are saying about Buddhism because I don't know nothing about it. But I really don't think anything gets boring after 3 weeks. See the journey. Well, that has happened to me as well. All I can say to you, different day you will have different experience. Chandu, but why do you need tickets, Chandu, if you are from India? And I will travel by car, hopefully, around India. I will not be only in one city, Chandu. Lose some... That's funny comment. Chandu, do you have a car in India? Meditation is originated in Brazil? I don't know, Akash. And from what part of India are you? Because I wanted to go originally to... We'll start the trip in Mumbai. There I would meet new name who doesn't have a car and rent a car and travel around. But I mean, I can start from your city as well. Bangalore. We'll search it up later. Well, just randomly, I like to travel, you know. And India is definitely one of the next countries. Why not, dude? Nothing super special about it. Ah, okay, Chandu. Casual Mike. Don't worry about those comments because they will be here all the time, every day when I come to live stream. Because people don't know how to perceive my mind. And they perceive it in lots of ways. I mean, everyone perceives himself actually. Well, I know that those people who tell me that I look depressed, well, I'm not telling that they are depressed, but you just cannot see deeply what's happening in other person. No one can do that. From Kolkata, I need to type down the cities of subscribers. Mumbai, Bangalore, but it's too early. I will travel around after half a year. No, Swarup, nothing special, just, well, I know that India is beautiful. I know that there are interesting people. I know that there is warm climate. And I have, let's say, some friends there as well. Friends from YouTube. Indian people are very open. And I am open as well. So we would correlate. We would be in the same vibe. How did you learn the true nature of reality? Casual Mike, learning never stops, but if your question is how did I realize that there is no me, well, through meditation and just through living, just through life. But I have meditated a lot. And specific, like realization, happened in one night. Where my ego totally surrendered. What do I expect from India exploration? Adventure. That's basically it. New experiences. I know that there will be things I like and I don't like. Both. That's life. Nera. Mera dude, you say 5 days left. I feel sorry for you already, Mera. When you ask me, do I believe in Christ? Can you specify the question? What is the Christ? And what is belief? I mean, about what is this belief in Christ for you? Swarup, there is no something exact. Whatever the moments will be there. Dimark, this Mera dude, he told that he will win in lottery in upcoming days, and he has 5 days left to win. Hello, observer. Yo, Pragia. Corpse mankind. So you say Jesus died for our sins. No, you say Jesus died for us. And how do you think? You will not like this, but how do you think? What will happen if you let go idea of Jesus in you? If you sacrifice Jesus in you, like Jesus sacrificed himself for you. Casual Mike, you say breathing can happen automatically and it can be controlled. But Casual Mike, when breathing is controlled, doesn't it also happen automatically actually? Maybe I don't get your message, but can you just step back many steps in your mind in the feeling of control? As many steps as you can and see what is behind it. Is control actually possible with someone controlling it? I mean, the sense of controlling is actually not control as well. Have you ever felt in your early stages that you were stuck in the same loop? Dude, of course, all the time. And how did I overcome it? by just surviving the storms. You never know how many storms there will be needed in you, like spiritual storms. You never know how many of them will be needed for you to finally break out, finally realize that there is no problem in these storms. There is no you in these storms. See the journey. Just live and trust the process. Continue what you're doing. If you meditate, continue meditating. Pragya, you learned that you are what you are and that's enough. Well, I don't get exactly what you mean by that. Swarup, you ask me how that moment will help you, what is missing in life that you want that moment when I travel to India. Dude, why do you think that people travel or experience life, colorful life? You think that people do that because something is missing and they search for help in it? Well, not exactly. Yo, new name. I need slow mode because I can't get with all the messages. Get along. Yes, new name. My hair is a little bit wet today, and light is a little bit different today. New name, you're actually the second one today who is telling me that today you feel some old loops happening, heavy feelings. I don't know, dude. For me, it's opposite today. And this clearly shows you that these feelings are not that real. These loops are not that real, even if they appear as something big. Yes, Casual Mike, well, this is the thing. Even the feeling of control, if it's controlling your breath or controlling your thoughts, it's actually also not controlled. It's just another movement in this existence, another thought. Another constance. I'm telling you all the time, it's easy to observe your thoughts as not yours. It's easy to observe your body as not yours. It's actually as well easy to observe your emotions as not yours and as something automatical. But it gets harder for the most subtle sensations and feelings and beliefs in you. But actually they are also automatic happenings, spontaneous happenings. CD journey. That's great, actually. And that's totally right what you are saying. You don't have to understand what I'm saying. There is still some kind of vibe behind behind whatever I'm talking about. Maybe you intuitively get it. Arka Krishna, what's satsang? Yes, I am Mark Zuckerberg, not. Uh, Swarup, I actually like your comments, but you are missing out few things. Well, I see you have beliefs about what life should be like. But dude, these are just beliefs. You say that there should be no interest in anything. Well, how is real freedom possible? How do you think? If there is only, well, let's say if everything is allowed except interest in something, if it's, dude, if you fight anything that appears in this moment, is it interest? Is it memory? Is it anything? Thoughts, feelings? Then how can you be free? From where do you have this image in your mind about maybe person who meditates in a cave? And that's the real stuff. Well, I don't know. No, I don't have mods. But the person who asked about interest, can you imagine such situation in your life when you allow totally everything to flow? Completely everything. Zero control. Zero, how do you say, ownership. Swarup, well, I guess you need to convince yourself to believe in something. But for me, you know how would work convincing in me as just a thought passing by. Dude, do you see what is your mind? What is the basics of your mind? Everything that happens right now in you is your mind. All of that is just clouds passing by. That's all. If it's searching for something interesting, if it's trying to convince yourself or others, these are thoughts, dude. Nothing more. Just movements. No, man, it must be your internet. It looks like my internet is okay. Final fundamental reference point. There is no final reference point. Your mind is very powerful. Dimak, it is remains of coffee. Then who do... Svarup is not letting me go. Then who do you think you are? Well, there are two answers to this, or maybe billions of answers, but I mean, I am Chris, I am this body, this mind, but, well, if you want deepest answer, then I am the same as you, because there is no me. How can there be you, behind this body and mind? Did you create yourself? Yo, new name. A life without ownership is chaos. And what is chaos without ownership? Is chaos something apart from life? Is chaos something bad? Namaste, namaste. Swarup. So, Swarup, is it important for you to hold on to something who you are? I mean to, because Swarup, you are asking me, are you this, are you that, are you that? But do the opposite. Try to know who you are not, then you will know who you are. Arka Krishna, for me there is no aim, the same aim for all of you. Arka Krishna, the thing is, all of you create your own aim and you understand something totally different. Each one of you understands something totally different from what I'm saying. I don't want to make people understand nothing, but I love talking about no self-enquiry stuff. Because that has been the biggest part of my life. Ankur Singh, I don't look at regrets as regrets. There is no psychological identification with regrets. All the other moments I've been in, I've been through, I wouldn't change anything, dude. Yo, Stacy, we are talking about whatever appears. Ankur Singh, well, why would I need to feel guilty? But, well, I haven't done actually anything that bad that would make me guilty. But it all depends from perception point. I mean, I have done bad things to some people, create suffering to some people. But why do you think you should live with? I mean, why do you think you should hold on to anything in this moment? Why do you need to hold anything in you? It will always make you suffer more and suffer everybody else more. You can be the best version of you in this life if you learn to let go. If you see that all this ownership is actually silly, it's not true, it's just something you think, something you believe. That's cool, Sid Mosa. Well, I see you for first time, but that's cool. Do I ever get excited or triggered? Of course, Dimak. It's the same. If you would ask me, do I poop or do I walk? Do I run? Do I sweat? Do I sleep? Because this is the thing. Learn to see your mind's processes in same way you see anything else, like your body. Learn to see your mind's movements in the same way you see movements in nature, happenings in nature, movements in your body. Learn to see everything as one movement. Then you will understand that being triggered, being excited, being sad, being happy, all these states, they are just part of life, natural part of life. But I mean, how often you will be triggered or excited, it depends on, well, the way you live your life. You can be completely awakened if you get excited or triggered all the time, and you'll be completely awakened if you don't get excited at all or triggered. These things depend on your psychological abilities, nervous system, habits, knowledge about life, experiences. I would say the more you have experience of living, experiencing this life without some fixed inner center, the more you just have experience living as, well, experience of seeing that life is living through you, well, you will naturally probably start to become less and less triggered by situations and less overly excited. But dude, in the end, this stuff can depend on your personality and so on. Yes, Dimak, that was good question. What is after death? Well, you will experience it. Why do you want to know it? Why do you want to know it so badly if you will experience it? But honestly, dude, there will be no you in this experience. But you will experience it. We all will. Why to think about it even? Let this curiosity in you fade away. Just let it go. Of course, questions about death, they will come in your mind all the time. They will appear in you. Everything moves in cycles in your mind. But when you are free of some kind of psychological self, illusionary self, then none of these cycles trouble you. Actually, when I was in self-enquiry early stages, or spirituality early stages, meditation early stages, I always thought that this should not be in my mind, that should not be in my mind. All that I didn't like in my mind, I thought that as long as it's there, I'm not good enough, I'm not ready enough. But what changed through life, through self-enquiry, is relationship, attachment, feeling of ownership, not the content. What can change in all of you is just this illusion of you, illusion of mental suffering, all these attachments, identifications. But the content will not change. You can meditate as long as you want. Do the deepest meditations, be a monk, think out anything, but it will not change the cycle of day and night. It will not change, dude. The birds flying by in the sky. You can do what you want. Just most people don't see how outer world is showing you all the time what actually is the inner world, how it works. And when you understand how your inner world works, there will be great peace behind that understanding. Just the same way you feel peaceful when you go in nature. I don't know what agenda means, but yes, freedom of freedom. Dude, all this is mind's content. Need to be free, need to be peaceful. This feeling of peace, feeling of freedom, it doesn't matter. Everything that is content in your inner world, let's say, is the same content as in outer world. Don't worry about it. Let it flow freely. Lose attachment to it. This need to lose attachment also is content. But when you will ask yourself these questions, when you will not ask but do, open and honest self-enquiry, well, something will snap. This content in your mind is needed. For you to awaken. But it's not actually about the content itself. And it's also not about not content. Human help. You don't get in the right way what I mean by saying detach. Being detached does not mean you stop to participate and you stop creating. You don't get this fully, dude. But dude, I cannot change how do you perceive attachment or detachment. These are just words, and some of you get what I try to say by these words. Yo, Ivan. This channel is about self-enquiry, Zikeba. Yes, it's about being free from free. Svarup. I never felt completely free beyond the freedom itself, while I was holding on to need to be free. When you see that freedom is the same as not freedom, well, then you are free. When you see that peace and chaos are the same, well, that is real peace. And it's not about these words, it's not about these feelings, it's not about these states even. It's just dude realization. If words could make someone to be awakened directly, well, all of the people would be dude. In peace, inner peace and freedom. But dude, these words are just small steps. That can some way point something out, but it's beyond that either way. Hamza, none of these you are choosing. No, Mimi, it's evening. Well, thanks Svarup for this kind comment. Because most of the time people like to bombard me with all the mind content they have, but Svarup, just natural process living. Well, I did meditate for 16 years quite deeply, not in a cave like monk, but I was always, since my childhood, into self-enquiry. So just common sense. But I do not create myself thoughts. I have consumed as well information that helped me to realize something from everywhere, dude. From life. New name, you know what I want to do? I want to buy GoPro camera. I will attach it to my scooter, new name, and one day I will go on just City Exploring live stream, and you will see new name all the views. Wait, actually, new name, brother dude. I can't show you the view because I have showed you the view only at night. So this is the day view, like evening view. Delhi, I don't think that enlightenment comes to an end, because since you realize the nature of mind, the nature of no personal self in your mind, well, then you just experience life, each moment as something new, each moment without ownership. And many people don't get this when I say mind without personal self in it, because this does not mean that thought of I disappears. This does not mean that personality disappears. I just don't, maybe I just don't know the best words how to say this. Because dude, my words in English are very limited. More limited than in my native language. But I mean, there comes a point where you see that basically what happens is your inner life and outer life merge into one. Subject and object become one, become the same object. From this point, you just live, that's all. Nothing to achieve. Because all the needs to achieve something, dude, you just see how everything is in mind, that's all. Coming and going. Nothing special about it. And you live and you still see where some kind of attachments are hidden. Yes, new name, I bought another scooter because police, well, I don't have faith, trust in that they will find my scooter after like 2 months it's been stolen. So I have a new one, better one. What is the perception of a person who is enlightened or awakened? Well, Delhi, perception is number one thing that change. You perceive everything as the same happening, same movement. You just cannot be tricked by anything. You is the same thought as tree. All these plays in your mind, well, you just see through them. You see through the ego. Ego becomes transparent. Your mind becomes totally transparent. The content of your mind doesn't change, but your perception becomes transparent. You still play your unique role in the life. We are addicted to listening or focusing on the thoughts. That creates illusion, like it's you thinking of thoughts. See the journey. I'm telling you, no thoughts in you have to change. Actually, this mental voice in your mind, it's not like it should start to think other thoughts, spiritual thoughts, awakening thoughts, enlightenment thoughts. It's not like you have to start to feel only all the best feelings in the world. But see the journey. Just take in mind that what I'm talking about for me came through lots of self-enquiry and meditation, because if you are a practitioner, continue to practice presence. And just observing, just observe. I think that lots of religions teach people to just observe. Because that really is the key. Mera, The scooter picture you sent in chat, that's the old one. I have different one now. Dimak, well, I think that Dubai chocolate is, well, it's marketing trick. There is totally nothing special about it. But that is how we people live. Someone starts to do something, and if it's cool, well, then other people want to try it. Recently I heard that whales also have, like whales in ocean has similar patterns like human. When one whale hunted salmon fish and started to carry it around on his forehead, other whales started to do it. But this trend ended. All the trends end at some point. How do I financially support myself? How do you think? New Name hockey game starts now, but I will start to watch it later. A New Name, tomorrow will be musical session, but that will be more peaceful than previous ones. What's the purpose of what? Human help, my age is 34, and I was raised in Latvia, Riga. Well, not only Riga, in Latvia. Well, not only Latvia, in many countries. In many places. I was not raised in this apartment, you know. Well, yes, most people think that I am younger, especially when I shave my beard. But it is what it is. What turned me to path of trying to find out some kind of higher self, trying to understand truth and so on, I would say mostly through very deep suffering, mostly. But before suffering as well, I had very deep thoughts about and feelings about what is God and so on when I was child. And of course, I was influenced by someone, and those were Eckhart Tolle, Moji, Ramana Maharishi, Osho, and there was one dude, actually, Bert Harding. He's from Canada, I think. But these dudes, well, I was learning from these dudes till I understood that I have to let go all I know and dive just deep into experience. Learning from persons, for me that was very short period. Then I just, all I did, well, I just meditated and lived life, that's all. Lots of deep, silent, empty meditation sessions. Mera, I do know my age. No human help. Well, I objectively can say that I'm not a good singer. Yes, Mera. I also think that suffering is quite cool. Well, especially, well, I would say psychological suffering. Because those kind of suffering directly and actually, well, in an unharmful way compared to physical suffering, helps you to realize things Swarup people are born, then the ego is created. All these inner borders are created. All these identifications and illusions are created. and then you can wake up from them. But if you don't wake up, it doesn't matter. Waking up is not some kind of higher purpose of life. It's just for those who feel they need it. No, I did not go to school for philosophy, and I'm not classically trained. Your childhood and teenage was rough? Well, mine too. And I love it. Human help, no, that dude Mikhail Baryshnikov, it's not even Latvian, I think. He's Russian. Well, if you live in Latvia, then you know more than that. What is my condition now, Swarup? Well, it's totally different. I mean, I have memories of everything, well, not everything that has happened, but they don't create in me some kind of psychological suffering. Human help, well, I don't have some specific feelings about Russia, but well, it's also not needed to talk about it here. It doesn't help in self-enquiry, but dude, we have lots of Russian people in Latvia and we are friends. We all know that the leaders of countries are the biggest problem makers, like wars and stuff, politics. Yes, I know some Russian words. There was actually a live stream about 2 weeks ago where I spoke with one man in Russian because there was a fire going on and it spontaneously happened on live stream. New name, I just said that tomorrow there will be a musical session probably, but it will not be active one. That one will be more ambient, more peaceful, not a house music. Swarup, well, I don't look at anything as worthless nonsense. But I don't give much attention just to thoughts, to feelings. When it's needed, I give attention. For example, when it's needed to talk, to work. But in other times, well, if you want to play with your mind, you can play with your mind. But in most of the time, it's just mental silence. Thoughts are somewhere very far. Well, let's not say far, just thoughts are silent. Mind is silent. I guess this is a thing that gradually change. I still will not say that content of mind changes, but how you perceive your mind, it changes. Loudness of your mind changes. Well, for me, loudness of my mind changed because I meditated a lot. You can be also enlightened without very loud mind, because enlightenment, I will not say enlightenment, I will say better awakening, it has more to do with just freedom of identity. But well, my specific life was that I meditated a lot. That's why there is lots of space and silence in my mind. That's why my emotions are settled. And so on. If you do sports a lot and eat healthy, then your body will look younger as well. It has nothing to do with awakening. Yes, silent is a concept, but Swarup, your mind is always something. Silence is not like something more than thoughts. It's just that your mind becomes more silent. Human help. I work in family company. Company is about media, technologies, internet. I don't know how to say. And if you educate yourself financially, dude, when you start to make money, start to make savings, you learn what to do with this money. Invest. And this also is not something that awakening does to someone. It's just how are you raised? What do you learn? His silence. Swarup, you know what? thing with silence was that for me this inner silence was, well, I was a hostage of this silence, and this silence was hostage for me, and it was needed for me like that. Spiritual ego was created subconsciously. That was needed for me. This silence was super needed for me. I'm not saying that it's needed for you. But just be sure you don't fool yourself. If you want to be peaceful and happy, lots of things can help towards it, and lots of things can distract you. And distractions is a deal only till you realize, is there someone in you who can be distracted? But till you don't see clearly who you are not, then living in distractions just slows down all the process of self-enquiry. Okay, I think I'm gonna go to watch hockey. Yo, Ibrahim. Okay, see you later. Yo.